Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And one of the things I want to discuss is that this is one of the only public faces of media that labels itself as Korean that is explicitly anti-college, right? So this channel, the official position of this channel is that college is essentially a ripoff and does not provide real educational services to the public that helps young people, students succeed and grow as an adult, right? In fact, a lot of times you see that there's a trend, and I feel this in Southern California when I step outside and maybe go to like anywhere in Southern California, because I'm here on vacation, that there's this Peter Pan syndrome going on, right? And that's because we as a society have decided that with our young children, we're not going to teach them any sort of real skills, even in adulthood, in college. And unfortunately, even the colleges themselves admit that, right? Like, I don't know if you ever heard of a book called Academically Adrift, where the University of Chicago published a book about a study about how they measured learning within colleges. And this was like in 2013 when they published the book, I think. And they measured whether students were learning in college, and the conclusion they came to is that there was very little learning going on, right? And here's another article from the Wall Street Journal by Jeffrey Collier, and from my understanding, this guy's a full-time professor, a fully tenured professor at I think the University of South Carolina. I might be wrong about that, but basically in 2013, he wrote an article. We pretend to teach, they pretend to learn. At colleges today, all parties are strongly incentivized to maintain low standards. And I don't know if you ever heard of the term faculty student aggression pact, but basically that means that the faculty will have very lax standards and the students won't complain about the faculty because if you're ever like a professor or a teacher, sometimes what happens is if you grade the students too harshly, the students complain and then you get in trouble with the administrators. And all the administrators care about is the, tuition money coming in. They don't really care if the students learn or not, unfortunately. And that's just really the standards of colleges today, right? And it's just, people wonder why after studying for an undergrad degree, oh, why do I feel like I have to go to grad school? Because you didn't learn anything in undergrad. Oh, why do I have to feel like I go to grad school? Or I'm sorry, why do I feel like I have to do, post studies or certificates after grad school? Because you didn't learn anything, right? And then that's why a lot of people, after they go to college, grad school, it's like, oh, I still need something because these institutions in society are not designed to actually teach anything to the population, and it's more just a general like a pyramid scheme, right? So that's why certain generations who went to college just got much more out of it than people who didn't from that generation. Whereas in this generation, everybody goes to college, and it's almost like playing the lottery, right? Sure, you might get a sweet job at Google or the FANG companies, what they call it nowadays, um, but it doesn't mean that if everybody does the same thing that you're doing, that it's like I said, it's almost like winning the lottery. Like sometimes like you work hard and you get nothing out of it. Sometimes you might work hard and get something out of it, but it's like totally random. Okay, but let me just kind of partially read this here. So it says the parlous state of American higher education has been widely noted, but the view from the trenches is far more troubling than can be characterized by measured prose. With most students on winter break, colleges largely shut down. The lull presents an opportunity for damage assessment. The flood of books detailing the problems, includes the representative titles "Bad Students, Not Bad Schools," and "The 5-Year Party." To list only the principal faults: students arrive woefully academically unprepared, students study little, party much, and lack any semblance of an internalized discipline. And so you can see here, I don't have a Wall Street Journal subscription, but I just think it's funny that an actual professor of academia who's fully tenured is going to tell you like, yeah, don't come here. We're not really teaching them anything, and they're just pretending to learn, right? You think, it's like the people who are actually entrenched in the institutions are probably the most honest because they see the corruption inside and out, right? And once upon a time, decided to take my hand on school teaching, no joke. Like, I actually did it without a degree or without a teaching degree. And after 6 months, I resigned. I was like, oh my goodness, like this is insane, right? Because what I did was you could kind of tell after the first couple of weeks how students are. And the students that I taught were really bad and they were really lazy, like really bad and really lazy and really rich too. And so what happened was that I decided that I'm just going to give all the answers to the test to the kids because I could just feel that they were going to complain saying I didn't, lie to their parents. I didn't teach them anything, right? And then once I had to sit down with every single parent, I told them that I emailed their kids all the answers to the test. And when you do that, they have no counter like to the accusation that I didn't go ahead and teach everything on the test, right? And the students kind of saw through I'm sorry, the parents were actually on my side, right? Because again, as a teacher, you don't really have that much power about how things are done. And this is like the hush hush secret that a lot of people don't talk about, right? But the thing is that most students are coddled so much these days that once they get to college, a lot of them just lack very basic skills. Like a lot of them just cannot do a simple presentation. A lot of them just kind of hang out on their cell phones. They don't know how to sell themselves, and it's kind of a lot of the problems that we experienced back then as millennials in that age. It's probably worse now for the current generation, right? And unfortunately, the environment of colleges is not some sort of academic haven for students who really care about studying. It's just it's just another business that just wants your money and will do as little as possible to get that money, right? It's kind of sad, but that's the reality of colleges today. So I don't know if any of you are in college, but what do you think about, if you are a college student in 2023, how's your experience? Maybe you didn't go to classes because you're forced to stay at home. I don't know, but I feel like this article, which was written 10 years ago, or even more than 10 years ago, oh my goodness, is relevant today, right? We pretend to teach, they pretend to learn. Again, this isn't even my criticism. It's the professor criticizing the institution itself, right? But yeah, okay. So I'll just go end it with that. Also, if you're interested in joining our group, go ahead and click the Google form link below. We provide educational services with regards to real estate investing and financial literacy. And one of the things that we talk about is velocity banking. We definitely do learn that it's relatively easy to learn. We have a bunch of videos on that. But we also want you to learn real estate investing as well along with velocity banking, right? So think about this: you buy a property at a discount, and then you pay for it quickly using velocity banking. You might have a property that's paid off in 3 to 4 years, right? So that's what I'm doing. So just want to throw that out there. Okay, awesome. Well, have a great day, everybody, and we will speak next time.